Hello and welcome to another evening of frank discussions here on Hard Copy. I'm Maokwe Ogun. Now, youth unemployment is a major worry for many governments and citizens of goodwill around the world. Here in Nigeria, where the population is growing at an exponential 2.7%, unemployment levels have been on the rise since 2014 when they were at 6%. The last data released by the National Bureau of Statistics show that it's currently at 14.2%. Now, youth unemployment figures are even more grim as they're, according to the NBS, at 47%. The concerns shown by governments at national and subnational levels vary, but they don't look like they're doing something about it. The question is, are the measures they put in place enough to even scratch the surface? In a situation where the federal government must work with states to combat the scourge, what are the political constraints? Should they matter? Well, tonight I have with me two guests who bear responsibility of creating jobs and empowering people. Afolabi Imokwede is Senior Special Advisor to the President on Job Creation, and Shemita Bello is the Executive Secretary of the Delta State Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency. Well, Afolabi and Shemita, you're welcome to Hard Copy.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, it's ladies first. Let's start with you, Shemita.
Okay.
14%, that's unemployment, and 47% youth unemployment. When you accepted to be Executive Secretary at DSM Sweden, did you understand the enormity of the challenge you are going to confront?
Before I got into Delta State, I was doing work with empowering people, so I had an idea. But getting to Delta State, it was an area where we could work within, and because I was looking at it from a national perspective. But when the governor, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, gave me this job to do the fund, because the empowerment we do in Delta State is not a one-man show. There is the Chief Job Creation Officer, Professor Eric Ebel. There is the person in charge of technical and vocational study, technical and vocational board for people who want to do like arts and crafts and welding and the rest. We have the agricultural, the ADPs. We have the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So there are different people coming together to work on empowerment. My major job is to give funds. I do not train. There are other people who train. I do not mentor. We have a mentorship department. So we have different people that follow through to ensure the training is holistic. When we want to give you starter packs, because once we're done with the training, some 3 months, 6 months, we ensure that if we do not see you use your starter pack, you can't get the part they want, the cash. I hold the cash. So they have to get clearance from the mentorship and the rest. So by the time they work with what they've been given, they see that the cash they're waiting for, they already made it. So that is something we're doing under the SMART agenda in Delta State, and it is working.
How many people are you currently, looking after in Delta, and what is your target?
Okay, from the job creation, they have in excess of 2,000 that they have empowered. From my office, we've empowered about 5,911 since inception. Then technical and vocational, they've done about 3,000 since inception. So when we combine, we've done about 15,000 because it's a huge model of training and putting in place in the various areas of interest. We also have a Leatherworks factory where we trained about 280 people. We have trainers in partnership with UNIDO to teach them how to make bags, boots, shoes with leather only. So we have trainers from Milan.
So in all, you have less than 20,000 people?
Yes.
Under that scheme?
Yes, because we have to do it in batches or else it won't make any sense.
Well, Afolabi, you currently run the Empower program of the federal government, and I know that you've been going around the state, and Empower is targeting, is it 200,000 people?
500,000 actually.
500?
Yes.
But currently, do you have...
just deployed 200,000. And the application for 2017 closed July 27, where we got about 2.5 million applications for the graduate stream. And from that pool, we will pick the next 300,000 to make the 500,000 for Empower. So the Empower program is also, it's double stream. So there is a graduate program and there's a non-graduate program. The non-graduate program relates a lot to what she's just spoken about around skills, competency development. So for the non-graduate program, really it cuts across broadly, across vocational, which has construction and automobile.
Is that the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program?
No, that's separate. That's the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program is loans, very micro, small loans up to a maximum of 100,000 to existing market women, artisans, traders. Yeah. So those are for existing. But this is really part of the job creation, youth empowerment program. So because you will need to be sure that we carry all the demographics. Graduates are one, which is the 500,000, and that's one where you have the teach, the agric, and the health, where they volunteer, full-time volunteers across the 774 local governments in their communities in these three components. And the non-graduate program, that's the skills component. So where they work, where we train them to be relevant for specific industries.
So you have currently 200,000 people. When you look at the amount of money you're spending, because I know you've been going around the state and you've been telling the volunteers under your scheme to take it seriously. You say it's a 6 billion naira program. Monthly. When you look at how much we're spending on that sort of program, would you say that we're setting our priorities right?
Oh, yes. So I'm glad you said something about the fact that unemployment, this issue of unemployment is actually global. It's a global phenomenon. But when you look at the real challenge for us is when you disaggregate the youth unemployment issue. And it was very clear to this administration, because it was even a campaign promise anyways, that if voted into office, they would do this. I mean, so this is really, but this is really about fulfilling some of those promises. But then when you take a look at this youth demography, you must really be able to, part of the bigger challenge that we find with unemployment is really about employability.